Hello, so this video really is an introduction at the grade 5 level to drawing inequalities on a number line. So we're going to just kind of recap the basic stuff that hopefully you're familiar with. If you're not, that's okay, we'll go through it in this video. But then we're looking importantly at representing these things here. So these are inequalities on a number line. So let's just get straight into it. This first one, how do we read this? This reads x is less than 5. And today we're showing how we express this on a number line because inequalities show a range of values. So if x is less than 5, we can show it on a number line something like this. So your number line is here. We're looking at less than 5. We've got 5 here. And because it is just less than 5, we have the circle as a circle not filled in. Okay, so really this is saying, well, if we're not including 5, we're just less than 5, your first number is going to be, that we do include, is going to be 4.9999, so on and so forth. Okay. But usually we're looking at the first integer or the first whole number less than 5. So in that case, that would be 4. That is your first whole number that you would include in this inequality. And then 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, so on and so forth. So these are your integer, okay? And that's a good word to use. Integer just means a whole number, values satisfied by that inequality. There's a range of values less than 5, but not equal to 5. And that is important because the one below, right, we read it as x being less than or equal to 5. And that's a really key part there. That equal to is shown by that line underneath the inequality. So your number line looks very similar. You still got 5, you still got 5. But this time you've got a circle that is completely filled in. And that is because you do include the number 5 in your range of values. So we do include number 5 because it is equal to 5 also. So you would go from 5. Your integer values, your whole numbers, would be 5, 4, 3, 2, so on and so forth. Okay? So less than or equal to is a really key thing to understand. And on a number line, we represent it using a filled-in circle. So the two below are now very similar, but just kind of going the opposite way. This one we're saying x is greater than 7. So your number line, hopefully you're getting an idea now. We just go and put in the number 7, and it's just greater than. So we've got a non-filled-in circle. So again, if we were looking at the integer values, again, which means whole number values that are greater than 7, or we'd be starting at the number 8, and then 9, and then 10, 11, so on and so forth. So you do not include the number 7. You go just above it, okay, which is going to be something like 7.000, loads of zeros, 1. That's just above 7, but again, usually we're looking at the integer, the whole number. Let's make a note of that just so we can see that. Integer just means your whole number. Okay. Good. And then the last one, we've got x is greater than or equal to 7. So very similar to the one above, but this time we've got a filled in circle at 7 because you do include the number 7. So this time your integer values, your whole number values that we include on our in our range of values, you would include the number 7. So 7, 8, 9, so on and so forth. Okay, so what you can do now is you can pause the video and you can try drawing these inequalities on a number line yourself. I will just say letter C and letter D are a bit different, but I think I'll let you guys have a go at those first. And then if you get stuck, you can go through it with me anyway. So the first one is, so you can pause the video, and you can give those a go. The first one, right, we are saying x is greater than 9. So x is bigger than 9, so number line, we're looking at your numbers that are bigger than 9. Okay, and that is it. We've drawn that inequality on a number line. Just to make it clear what values we're looking at here, if we're looking at the integer values, so the integer whole number again, satisfied by that inequality, you would not include 9 because it must be bigger than 9. You would go from 10 and then 11, 12, 13, so on and so forth. Okay? Question B, right, we would read this, x is less than or equal to negative 4. So there we go. And this time we do include the number minus 4 because it's less than or equal to minus 4, which is here. We're looking at your numbers that are less than minus 4. And again, if you asked for your integer values that are satisfied by this inequality, you would include the number minus 4 and everything below minus 4. So minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Sorry, very, very silly mistake there. Right, less than minus 4, we're going in the downwards direction. So minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, so on, so forth. Okay, these numbers are less than minus 4, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, so on and so forth. Okay, question C. This one, It looks maybe a bit confusing, but if you remember our work on error intervals, it just means that your value of x must be bigger than or equal to 11 or less than 15. So it's kind of saying it's between, but you include the number 11. So let's kind of make a note of that over here. Right. This kind of means your x value must be between 11, and you include the number 11 and the number 15. So it's going to look something like this on a number line, but because it is bigger than or equal to 11, you have that black dot there. And less than 15, well, it is less than, so you don't include 15, you go just below it. So again, if you were asking for your integer, your whole number values satisfied by this inequality, you'd be looking at your numbers. You would include 11 because it's bigger than or equal to 11, 12, 13, and then 14, but you would stop there. You do not include 15 because it must be less than 15. Last but not least, we've got this one here. We've got x must be less than 5 and x must be greater than or equal to 7, and they are two separate inequalities, so you must consider them separately on your number line. So something like this, right? X is less than 5, so we're looking at your numbers less than 5, which are going to be 4, 3, 2, 1, so on and so forth. But they must be bigger than or equal to 7, so you're looking at your numbers that are bigger than or equal to 7, so 7, 8, 9, 10, so on, so forth. And that is it. Okay, if you understand that, that's really useful because a lot of the questions, particularly on the exam papers, they ask you to represent your inequality on a number line. So hopefully that was useful. Thank you.